Good morning. It is a June gloom kind of morning, and I'm out a little bit earlier than normal this morning. Tried to get my walk in. I didn't walk yesterday, and it's been a couple days since I posted, so figured I would get some things going. Who do I have today? Jägermeister. Yeah. So, Jägermeister used to be one of my drinks of choice back in the day. And so much so that people would buy me bottles of Jaeger for every holiday and everything like that. At one point in time, I had like 3 full giant bottles of Jägermeister. But yeah, people even knew me as Jaeger Dave. The thing about Jägermeister is, I'd take a shot of it ice cold. Haven't in a long time. But Jaeger has, I think it's like 13 different botanicals in it. And some of that is natural caffeine. So Jaeger hits different. It's kind of like Red Bull and vodka. Just that caffeine and the alcohol hit together. Yeah. Jaeger can make you a little crazy. Jaeger Dave, they used to call me. I'm pretty excited. I just got 3 new banana plants yesterday. I got a double Mahoy dwarf, which is a mutation of a Musa, I think it's a Cavendish dwarf, which when it flowers, it usually produces 2 flowers and 2 sets of fruit at the exact same time. Highly unusual. And I think I'm going to put that in a big pot and just keep it right on the patio on rollers so I can move it around and use it as a shade tree, which is kind of cool. And then I got a variety I've never heard of before called a Paturi short cycle. Supposedly, they have a very short growing cycle, so it'll flower sooner and the bananas will ripen sooner. As it is currently, my Goldfinger banana, I have to wait sometimes a year or more for a bunch of bananas to actually ripen. I've mentioned before, I have a bunch of bananas that actually formed last June, so it's been a year. And I'm still waiting for them to ripen. They are very slowly plumping up, so it won't be too much longer. But that's one of the reasons why I have so many different bananas, is I want to get to a point to where there's always a bunch of bananas that are ripening somewhere in the yard. Plus, I love them. They look really, really cool. Both my lovely bride and my son and daughter-in-law have stated that their favorite plant in my backyard is a giant ornamental red banana plant, which the leaves on that thing, a single leaf is probably 10 feet long and 2 feet wide. It's a beautiful, beautiful plant. But sadly, it doesn't produce bananas, and I'm after the fruit. Been dealing with gophers the past, there was one gopher that probably over about the last 3 weeks or so has been a real pain in the ass up near where I planted the amaranth. I've been trying to get him for a long time. I finally got him yesterday. Yeah, it was really funny too, because I saw a brand new hole that he had. Okay, let me put the gopher hawk in that hole. So I put the gopher hawk, and I came out a little bit later. I thought, well, I'll move the gopher hawk to a little bit different location. And so I went to grab the gopher hawk to move it, and it had been set off. And sure enough, that little bastard was dead. Yeah, I got him. Fantastic. Yeah, and I've also been dealing with a bunny rabbit in the backyard, which I don't recall seeing bunnies in the backyard. Been in the house for 23 years? and I do not recall seeing a bunny in the backyard. Of course, for that entire time we've had dogs, and this is the first time since we've been in the house that we do not have a dog. That's sad for sure, but a fringe benefit was the fact that the dog kept the bunnies out. So now I'm having to deal with bunnies digging around the base of my plants, and so far not too much damage, but yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it. Wow, look at all this jasmine. I wish I could describe how good it smells standing on the sidewalk right here. And there is the largest kumquat tree I've ever seen in my life. That thing is huge, ginormous. Oh, wow, this smells so good. I could stand here all day. The other day, I walked back and forth down these block-long streets that run perpendicular to Topanga Canyon. I only made it about halfway through, so now I'm doing the other half. And a lot of these streets I've never really walked down before. Like I mentioned previously, we used to bring our son down here for trick-or-treating. These are the big trick-or-treating streets during Halloween, but I don't think I've ever walked down them during the day and really kind of looked at what's going on. So I'm doing that this morning, getting in some extra steps, just kind of going back and forth and back and forth, but that's okay. I feel good. It's quiet this morning because it's nice and early, and you know, when it's a heavy overcast day like this, it just kind of gets extra quiet. We have seen plenty of these little neighborhood book libraries, but this is a free little play library, and it's filled with little toys for the kids. What a great idea. Man, when I was a little kid, I would have completely went nuts over this. I would want my parents to bring me back every single day. What a great idea. I love my neighbors. It's so cool that people do stuff like that. It's just the best. So this is kind of interesting. On this side street, first I should preface by saying on all the previous side streets, they've been lined with these huge type of eucalyptus trees. These are totally different, and look at how cool the bark looks. And I'm not sure, this may be due to woodpeckers. I'm not sure, but these trees are big, beautiful looking trees, but boy, do they make a mess. Look at all the blooms and everything. It looks like popcorn. Wow, what a mess. Huh, I wonder what kind of tree they are. They kind of look like a ficus kind of tree. I was curious, so I looked it up, and that tree is called the Kurrajong tree, or the bottle tree. It's native to Australia. It is not a ficus at all. It's in a completely different genus. Kind of a cool tree. I like it. I was just reminded of something. I just saw a guy come out in his pajamas, an older guy, probably my age, come out in his pajamas and pick up a newspaper that was thrown on his driveway. And it reminded me of when I was a kid. I never had a newspaper route, but my friends did, and occasionally they would talk me into coming with them on the paper route, and that was always so much fun. And for a lot of guys, very few girls did it, but for a lot of guys, that was their very, very first job. And what a hassle. You know, you would get up super early in the morning and ride your bike around the neighborhood and deliver newspapers, and then once a week or once a month, I don't remember what it was, you'd have to go and try to collect from these people. Oh, what a hassle. I remember my buddy, we would go to so many doors, and sometimes they wouldn't answer, and sometimes they'd say, oh, hey, yeah, you know, can you come back in a couple days? I'm a little short right now. I mean, it was like, what, $1 or $2 maybe? I mean, this is back in the early days, so I remember my very first real job was shearing Christmas trees. And I think I was 17, somewhere around 16, 17, somewhere around in there. Oh, hi bunnies. And I remember they gave us these chaps that we had to wear, these yellow chaps that had lead in them, and these giant machetes. And we would go into a Christmas tree farm and go around and shear off all of the new growth. And the goal, the goal was to do 1 tree an hour. And I remember I really wanted to do that. So I busted my ass this one time, and yep, I just literally ran from tree to tree, and I was able to do like 62 or 63 trees in an hour. And I ended up getting a pay raise. I think they bumped me from, I think it was $4.40 an hour, $4.35, $4.40 an hour, to like $4.65 an hour. Oh my God. I thought that I was just styling. Can you imagine only making $4.65 an hour? Crazy. That was the old days though. I remember the very first thing I bought with my winnings was I went out and bought a brand new, well, new to me, it was used, but it was a Marantz 2015 stereo receiver. I thought I was the shit. I'm still thinking about that $4.65 an hour. Wow, that was so long ago. And now, I mean, as an IT professional, I bill out at $195 an hour, and I need to raise my rates. The company that I subcontract for, they bill me out at $200 an hour. Crazy. I tell you, I tell anyone, young adult, IT pays pretty doggone good, especially if you focus in a particular area like cybersecurity. Whew, you can make a lot of money, and there are a ton of jobs available. Yeah, the company that I subcontract for, they're actually looking for a good IT guy now, but can't really. I mean, we're kind of looking for kind of an experienced guy. Yeah, should I say that? No, not really. Kind of more of an entry-level experienced guy. Does that make sense? So we want a guy that's got a little bit of ground underneath his feet, but who hasn't been poisoned by bad ideas, bad work ethics, things like that. We want to be able to take this person and kind of mold them into our culture, if you know what I mean. Okay, busy road here. We're going to take a break. I think that would make a great post on social media. I'm going to have to do that because I'm curious, make a post like, what was your first job? When was it? And do you remember how much money you made? That'll be really, really interesting to see people's reactions to that and to hear what their first jobs were. Guava tree has guavas on it. Oh man. And I see a ton of little baby guavas on it too. Oh man, mine hasn't even flowered yet. That looks like another big guava tree right there. Yeah. I think my guava tree, it's shaded a little bit by Japanese maple. Yeah, it's not getting the sun that it should. I'm gonna have to trim back that Japanese maple. I'd really like to get rid of it because it doesn't give fruit, but my lovely bride loves that tree, so unfortunately I think it's gonna stay for a while. Man, look at that house sitting up on the hill. Wow, I am not so sure that I would like to live in that house. In a big earthquake or a lot of rain or something like that, ooh, I would be a little... That cut off a little bit early. I said I was going to be a little bit nervous. I hovered my thumb over the button and it sensed my thumb and shut off early. But my walk is going to take me right up pretty close to that house. So a lot of climbing for me today, but got to get back to the house. I got to do a little bit of cleaning this morning because that's part of my job. You know, I love the fact that I've been walking so much recently, going up these hills. I used to avoid them like the plague because I would get so winded and I'd have to stop multiple times going up the hill. Now, they don't even faze me. I'm like a mountain goat, man. I just go right up the hills. Barely raises my heart rate. Cool, love it. What a great walk today. Just wanted to stop at one of my favorite yards. Look at all the pomegranates coming in on this guy. Nice, they're gonna have a ton this year. Look at all the pomegranates. Look how big the stone fruit trees are. And the apple tree. Pineapple, guava. Yeah, this yard is just great. I don't know what that plant is right there. That's interesting to me. Look at the apple tree just loaded. Well, I'm heading up the last hill towards my house. What a great walk today. Man, I feel really good. I could have gone a lot further, but I need to get back to the house, do some cleaning up. Got to clean the bird cage. Got to vacuum up a little bit and do some of the dishes and tend to my garden a little bit in the morning. Y'all have a great day. go out and have a walk around your neighborhood. It's really nice. You can see stuff that you normally wouldn't ever see. Be good humans out there, all right? See ya.